Last time on the channel. Wow, Axel, we did it. We saved Germany.
I'm joining the DVLP.
I can't have anything fucking nice with you, can I? You know, I was gonna have like a little quip about what happened between, you know, when we won in 1918 to what's now in 1936. But you can see the background. I'm not covering all that. So instead, I'm just gonna say things happened, and if you want to read up on the Kaiser Workload, you should, because it's really good and really well thought out. It's just I'm too much of a fat lazy bum to actually fucking cover it all. Anyways, on with the show. To describe the starting German situation since 1918, well, after I exiled Ludendorff to Africa, he decided to come back and basically form his own dictatorial government. And quickly, with the help of the Democratic parties, we quickly ousted him. And we had the good old era of the black, red, and gold from 1920 to 1923. Then we had a conservative resurgence in 23 to 24. Then we had whatever the fuck the March coalition was. If I could describe it as center. Blame Marx, not that one. We're currently in the flight of the Marx coalition because, we have extremists on the right, extremists on the left. And as you saw in the opening statement, clearly one of my adversaries have clearly picked a side. But I will be a moderating force. I am a proud SPD, Social Democratic Party for Deutschland member, so I will be promoting them. I will be doing an SPD vote, or trying to. Hopefully the guy don't come back and bite me in the ass. I also restarted it to have the FPS map, just to, make it look nicer. In Worcester, a man named Viktor Chernov, a prominent social democrat, social liberal, got shot. And I also got to finally choose if I was going to play from the perspective of the DVLP or the SPD, and I fucking went with the SPD. Come on. Now you might be wondering to yourself, what's to the left of the screen and why does it look so confusing? And I'm here to help. You click 3 buttons. It's the event to help you in the Reichstag elections of 1936. I wonder what will happen. Impasse in the Reichstag. What does this mean? Well, a member of the LVP has basically proposed a week-long bank holiday to, relieve stress off the markets. The Reichsbank president basically told him to go fornicate with himself. And, an impasse in the Reichstag happened. There's a little trouble, economies, go up and down, it's circle of life. Monday will bring good news. Well, did it bring any good news? Oh gee whiz, I'm up there goes China. Speaking about China, we decided to send over some divisions to help out the Nanjing clique. Why? Because most of our companies are based in Nanjing, and we don't want them falling to the Sindies in the south. So here's a little time lapse of how well I did. Meanwhile, we were thinking about talking with the Polish, which, I allowed. We talked to the Polish. On April 10th, 1936, Mr. Kurt von Schleicher was appointed Reichskanzler by the Kaiser himself. Why? A hung parliament. No, not like that. We have to now fight him in another mini-game in the decisions tab, which we basically just block parties from doing or joining a side. We gotta make our side win. I was also fighting in China. Back in Germany, we'd actually decided, what should be our economic stands on Black Monday. What do we fucking do? And it was between the Waffenau plant and the TB plant. Public Works, and I forgot the other one. If I forgot, I didn't do it. I did the Public Works. The funny Georgian man got to me again. Meanwhile, in Prussia, it's like I was cozying up to the Prussian guy, and the Prussian guy actually agreed to allow him to be the Minister President of Prussia, so hopefully this does not come back and bite me. Wow. But why does this keep showing up? I was gonna show like another time lapse, but apparently Paris has been cooed. I think they're in charge of a popular front now, so yeah, how democratic. Boy, I kept on trying to get an encirclement near Wingzhou, but the fucking Chinese militia were apparently stronger than my light tanks. And of course, was added, forgetting about that, Centrum's party leader conference was happening, and after a few decisions, we were able to get the progressive Karl Utzutska in charge, meaning a friendly Centrum for a democratic cause.
I forgot to say that trade unions are striking in the Rhineland.
And you know what, we had enough seats, so you know what, out goes Schleicher in with Muller. In September, we finally dealt with the last Kuomintang remnants in China, securing the Nanjing clique, and we learned something. What made tanks good in the First World War? Because in the first, they were fast, they outsped our enemies, we outflanked them in Normandy, causing them to thin out the line, and we finally took Paris with the firepower of the tanks. So what was it? Was it the speed or was it the firepower? Well, we could always prioritize one another, or we could go down the middle path. But yeah, my advisors told me, well, you know that is good, but there's also something called strapping an artillery gun to a tank. And I was like, yeah, that actually sounds pretty neat. So, what are we doing? We're doing light SPGs. Let's hope this doesn't fail us. Worcester's also pink now.
Spy moment!
We send volunteers to the kingdom, which is a no-brainer. When I can send it to the syndicalists, like, yeah, here you go, Senefai, here's some guns. Like, 5 years later, huh? Why are they shooting us with geweers? Like, wow. We also beat the Carlos ass in fucking Galicia, but we cut them off. Encirclement. Don't mess with the German tanks. And also, finally, I got to design my light SPGs, which is, they're kind of ass, but yeah, they're the best I've got right now.
I also called them the John Parker 117.
I spy with my little eye something called the American Century of Humiliation. I couldn't save Spain. At least Italy exploded, so I can go die there now, but it's just not the same. I pushed up into the north, but it's just not the same without Spain. There's gotta be a fucking curse, bro. I finally succeed in China, and the entirety of Southern Europe falls to syndicate. I don't know what happened. I was doing so good. In this episode of Top German, German divisions arrive in Indonesia. German tanks save the Ottomans in Iraq. And the entire eastern and middle of the United States is controlled by syndicalists. I guess my play in Iraq didn't pay off. I really hope I start winning these proxy wars or I'm gonna be fucked for the Second Weltkrieg. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen in 1940. I decided to do something I've never done before. Build an air force. And I even nicely named it after one of my subscribers, Mr. Susie, or Mrs. or either or. Susie 190. So if you subscribe today, maybe you will get a plane named after yourself. Or maybe a tank. Or maybe a ship. Okay, now it's about time I should tell you, just in case the Second Weltkrieg happens, what is my plan? Alright, so what happens is, on the Western Front, I hold my border. On the Eastern Front, I retreat a little bit to, the Dnieper and the Baltic one, and hold from there. And I keep holding until I get a successful push in either front. And if that fails, well, Oh, la-di-da, I'm just setting up my Air Force, just in case a war happens, there you go, there you go, without any fucking warning. Washington's declaring war on all of us, okay? Just bring together the defense. And a little while later, France joins in, so finally, the Second Weltkrieg begins. Okay, forget my Eastern Front plan. I have my light SPGs in southern Ukraine. We have a goal and it's to take Volgograd. I decided to put the Volgograd campaign on pause and just, deal with just holding Rostov. In the casualty market, 100k to 44, that's pretty good. In the middle of trying to get an encirclement in the Donbass, fucking, the Semyonov rose up in western Siberia, so, cool, I guess. Holy encirclement, one cavalry division. We better have killed every single horse, bro. Bro, I was catching hammer ships in the North Sea. I was holding the French front somewhat, and I was breaking through in southern Russia, so what could go wrong? While this was all happening, I was talking with the Entente, and surprisingly actually came to an agreement. The Halifax Conference succeeded, and I would get Alsace-Lorraine. I would get my colonies officially recognized, and I would get them to renounce Northern Ireland. And, as long as they pull their fair share, I will commit to this, conference, I will stay by my word as long as they pull their weight. The French broke into Belgium. While I was protecting the skies of Germany, the Balkan League capitulated, and we divided up the Balkans with Austria-Hungary. Also, Austria-Hungary joined, I forgot to mention. Brothers in arms once again.
Also, I'm trying to ignore the Russian menace at Romania's doorstep.
Okay, but in fairness, I only hit the fastest divisions I could deploy to the Balkan front were my tanks divisions. Okay, it's not my fault that my fucking allies can't hold the front line. Also, the French are about to break through on the River Rhine. Why did I speak so proudly earlier? Okay, the situation right now isn't the best, but if I can just hold on the Rhine, hold a little bit in the Netherlands, push back Russia in Ukraine, everything's gonna be okay. Bro, in the middle of my breakthrough in Russia, of course, the fucking Baltics had to capitulate. Don't worry, I had some divisions on standby that quickly took up the back, like Livonia. But, it did scare me. Also, I got that big ass encirclement in the Caucasus. Russia, you donezo. Kamenev, you washed. I decided to launch a little offensive with my tanks in southern Ukraine to try to encircle some Russian divisions. Here's the result. By the way, the war started in like March or February. It's currently October, and we currently have like 10 mil on each side. Jesus Christ. In the east, we got an encirclement around Kiev with a lot of divisions, and on the west, in this time we had consolidated the like northern Caucasus, southern steppe, and we finally decided to relaunch our offensive to Volgograd, even though it isn't called Volgograd anymore. It's called Minigrad. Minigrad. Who is that? And I eventually got Minigrad. I also got like a scare from India after they seized like a little bit of my territory. But I just didn't. I wasn't gonna die over like pieces of India where I already got enough on my plate. I decided finally to upgrade my light SPGs again, and we in celebration we did a little counterattack to reclaim some Baltic territory, which we got. Like everything's going right up our way. So the French took Amsterdam. God damn it! In Russia we actually have success in taking Petrograd. That success is immediately halted when Ukraine fucking fails to hold the front, so I'm back to my original war plan again. Japan declares war on us in May, and I can't hold you East Asia, I'm sorry. I don't think I can even describe what's happening in Europe right now. Sir, we're rapidly losing in Ukraine. We might even get Crimea and the Caucasus front cut off. Don't worry, young officer. I have an idea. Conscript all the Lithuanians and put them in Kherson. They will hold the front. You know what they actually did? The Kaiser's dead. Long live the Kaiser. He's trying to do some fucking authoritarian shit. Nah, my watch. We're already social fascist. You can't sidestep the SPD in that lane. With Feng Chang reuniting China, it's giving me fucking war flashbacks. Also, there's gonna be even more of a fucking bait, because there's gonna be there's gonna be like the entirety of China against my ass. God damn it! I caught the Commune of France's navy, and ooh, she. Thanks to the grand Lithuanian defense in Ukraine, the light SPGs in southern Warsaw were able to reconnect the front and even get a little bit in encirclement. You get to watch them all die. Speaking about counterattacks, in the Rhineland we actually were able to push the French and cause an encirclement in Mainz. You also get to watch them die. Yeah, the Entente ain't getting shit after this war. In Warsaw we also got a massive pocket that we quickly ate up. Wow, even though we were doing pretty badly, I think, you know, we're actually gonna win this war. I have a plan and it's gonna be big. For the second time in history, the German army had taken Moscow. A little while later, we had basically encircled the entire Russian army, leading to Kamenev being killed by the army. It's basically over for the East, if you forget about Asia, and soon all of our divisions would move west once more to take out France and England. But I do have a trick up my sleeve that will get us there faster. Here are the casualties, and oh, there goes Russia. At least we got a majority of it, but I don't think our new Russian government's gonna be able to hold the East. We might get pushed back to the O's, boys, so... but that doesn't mind. Back to the West. We saved Austria in Croatia and launched a little invasion until we take some of the Netherlands. Okay, now it's time to tell you my trick up my sleeve. I destroyed the English and the French Navy, so in the last war, how I won with the tanks, yeah. But also I had invaded Normandy with tanks and cavalry, and you know, stretched out their line, then I connected, stretched them out even more, then took Paris. Now, the English they still have a big navy, so instead of going for France and landing in Normandy, we land in Newcastle. Any objections? They barely had a fucking defense, bro. I just cut them in two. I didn't really attack in Scotland. I mainly focused my tanks in central England, aka Birmingham. On July 22nd, 1943, we had finally captured London, only after about 3 months of fighting. Which is fair, I did encircle a lot in like Newcastle and Manchester. And with the fall of London, some Scottish militia divisions also rose up, which is a little late, guys. Even though I had taken London, the British exploited the gaps in my front line because I only had 18 tanks. And so they actually not only managed to take London back, but also pushed me out of a lot of the Midlands. But don't worry, my counterattack with my actual infantry quickly capitulated them. And now all I had left were the French. And what was my plan there? Invade Normandy. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Oh, I just love being a Frenchman in Paris and a German strategic bomber. Huh, I wonder what that's doing there. Shit. I shouldn't have let those fucking scientists done all that shit. What do you think this is gonna do to our popularity? Probably, for lack of a better word, nuke it. You're lucky I've stopped eating people. Have you figured out my favorite weapon yet? Even though it is pretty stupid to basically send our men into like a broken down nuclear power plant, we still need this war to be wrapped up quickly. So there goes our invasion in Normandy. And here's a little time lapse. Here you go, my little pretties. Go invade the nuclear wasteland that is Paris. And on the 8th of March 1944, France had finally lost their capital once more to the German army. Yeah, no, this is basically WAPs, so the international. All we basically have to deal with now is the squad, like close squad wins in Italy and Spain. But once we actually get our proper defenses down there, it basically doesn't matter. We have won the Second Weltkrieg. How is it? God damn it! I swear I'm over America. What? Okay, well, I guess it's going to be a little bit longer than anticipated. But with France done, I'm sure most of our divisions can west. But in the meantime, we gotta go and try to deal with this American threat. No, fuck off with Canada and fucking San Fran. You ain't getting shit. What did you guys do? I'm pretty sure you got invaded Indonesia. On the 9th of June, 1944, Herman Muller finally steps down after being too old for the SPD chairmanship. So, and with barely even a contest, Mr. Apple, I'm pretty sure that's like a fake name, wins the electionship, being now the official chairman of the SPD, with Mr. Karl Mindroff behind him. And CVP formed. I wonder who their chair. Oh my fucking god. Alright, polls are in. How many seats do we. Oh yeah, I love being the Kaiser. Yo! Where is the Social Democrat? I don't know. He mainly does his bills and motions through the parliament. You're lying! Alright, my first agenda. Allowing women into the Reichstag. This will surely help me in my evil plans to take over. We gotta go and... Oh, we gotta go fucking invade Siberia. Wait, no, we can invade America. Okay, we're going to America. You know, only a few people can see this, but if you look in Newfoundland, you can see 68 starving German divisions. In December 1944, we had landed in Quebec, and in June 1945, we only fucking took Maine. God damn it. Bye-bye, Ma'am Donnie. God damn it, I missed. Still got it, by the way. Washington may be a nuclear wasteland, but hey, still got it. Capitulating America took only like about half of the time capitulating France did, and somehow I feel like I'm more of a corpse. Hello, Hoover. Well, it's off to the great step now. God damn it, I don't want to fucking invade Japan. It's just not worth it. Mr. Lootmost, sir? What is it? You know those like old stockpile of like world-ending weapons the previous government had? Yeah? We can use those if you really want. Really? Yep. One straight to Tokyo, please. Okay, we surrender now. You still gotta deal with Feng Chang. They're not heating our cars anymore. God damn it! It's all my fault. I drove Mr. Apple away, and only he could have the willpower to fully capitulate the Chinese. Yes, the SPD were good for Germany. I just couldn't. They're a thief! A bunch of criminals! They stole my election! They're a menace to the entire country! I want that welfare fundraising hooligan prosecuted! I want him stuck in his own safety net! I want the doctor! Oh, hey guys, I'm back. No, Siam, you're not getting a conditional surrender. As well as don't question why we're in Thailand, actually, by the way. And or why it's like nearing 1950. Okay, well, beautiful borders. Hold on, let me invade Ukraine real quick. And with Ukraine's death comes the end of the mini campaign. Yes, I am calling it that. I played Germany for 40 years, and this is what I got. I'm actually pretty proud of it. Right now in the background, you can see, all the, final puppets and all that. But yeah, thank you for watching this. If you watched from the first video, then thank you. Next video will probably be either a Gary's Mod video or something else entirely. He's probably gonna see me in a party game, but just if you subscribe, I love you. And also, you might get another mini campaign if I get to 250 subs. Alright, bye bye.
And you don't seem to understand.